Hi everybody, Cindy here with Pathways Homestead. Today I am going to can some of the zucchini and yellow squash that we harvested in the last couple of days. When I get a large amount of this zucchini, I can it. We love zucchini in casseroles, and since we're low carb, we like to make like a Italian soup with it, almost like spaghetti, only it's more soupy. So more of a ratatouille. We just throw everything that we have in it, and so I'm gonna can the squash today. So I have sterilized my jars. I have my canning salt. Today I'm going to use my Carry electric canner since it's going to be, and just do small batches. And I just didn't want to get out my big canners today. So that's what we're going to do today with those. So I've washed my squash. I have sterilized my canning jars. And so now I'm going to just take and cut up the squash. I'm going to take off each end, and I'm going to dice it. You can slice it, you can chunk it, however you like to use your zucchini. I have not tried, but I've heard that you can even make zoodles and can the zoodles. I haven't attempted that yet, but I haven't successfully canned zucchini and yellow squash. So I've got my cutting board and my knife. I'm going to take each end off of the zucchini. And I have a bucket down here for scraps to go to the hogs. We really are enjoying this gray zucchini. I know I've said that multiple times in my other videos, but look how big this zucchini is, and the seeds are still small, and it is tender, and just, it's an amazing zucchini, and I'm really, really excited to have it. So I'm going to cube this zucchini, and it doesn't have to be uniform, but I try to be as uniform as possible. The zucchinis are variants in size, and it's just not going to be possible to have just everything just so. And I'm cutting them in about 1 inch, and they're ended up being little triangles. Then I'm just going to put those in the jar. I have water getting ready to boil in my kettle. And I may need more water, and if I do, I have a microwavable safe Pyrex measuring cup that I'll use to heat more water if need be. I've not filmed many canning videos to show off my Carry canner. Gary bought it for me as an anniversary present when we moved into this home 2 years ago. And we didn't have propane set up yet, and so I needed to do my canning, and it was impossible. My garden was here. It was so frustrating to haul everything back to the other house and can it there. So we bought the pressure canner, and I actually started canning in this house before we lived here. The air conditioner was working, we had electric, so I just started canning. And Gary bought me the Carry canner, and we got going. It was amazing. So I have so enjoyed this canner. It has been the best investment that I can think of for canning wise that we have made in quite some time. My first best investment was a little over 20 years ago whenever I purchased my Aunt Mary's canner. She had an old yellow Presto canner that I still use and love, but I have stored it. The Carry has replaced it. I can small batch can with the Carry and not use as much energy. And so that has been what I've moved on to. But I still have my yellow canner that that I bought from my Aunt Mary. Oh goodness, 22 years ago. Is that not amazing? 22 years. She used it for years and years and years and years. She gave me the canner. She gave me, she had extra gaskets. She gave me jars. She gave me advice. So the heritage of canning in my family that I know of, and cousins, if you're watching and you're canning too, please let me know, because I feel like I'm alone. I have had all these resources to draw upon in my years of canning, and I'm sure there are many others, and I feel bad that I just can't remember them all. But the benefit that I have and the joy I have in canning and providing food for my family is just amazing. There is nothing more beautiful than jars of food on the shelves that you have grown and that you have preserved to feed your family. It's amazing. I really, really like it. And if you have not done that, or are in a point in your life that you can't, because you know that does happen, and I don't want to make anybody feel like I'm belittling them or make them feel guilty in any way. Do what you can with what you have where you are at. And I know some of these jars look fuller than others, but we're going to use our little wand here in a little bit when we add our hot water, and it'll help get them where they need to be in the jars. If one seems a little fuller than the other ones, I just move it around to ones that aren't quite so full. So my next step is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And this salt does not have iodine in it. It is just salt. Just salt. A teaspoon in the top of each jar. Then I'm going to grab my water that boiled, pour it over the top. Now I'm going to stop and leave a little bit of room. And so I'm just going to go to what they call the shoulders of this jar. And then when I get the air bubbles out, I'll add more water probably. But this is a good opportunity for me to see if I have enough boiling water or hot water to can my 4 jars. And I'm going to have plenty. So my wand disappeared. I have a green wand that I can with, and I've lost it somewhere. I'm sure it's slid behind something. But I'm just going to run this rubber scraper around this. So here we go. We're going to knock them all down. And in this, I'll see who has too much in them. All right, so those look really good. I'm going to top them off with water just up to this rim right here. So I'm not sure how much, I think that's a 1-inch headspace, but I just go by that ring that's on the mouth of that jar. And then I'm just going to take a paper towel and just run it around the tops of those to get the water. If I got any pieces of matter on there, it'll get them off. And then put my rings and lids on, screw them down finger tight. You don't want to over tighten them, because you know, as you know, Metal expands in heat. And then in my carry canner, I've prepped my canner. I put a quart of warm water in the canner already. And so it's ready to go. I'm going to transfer these jars over there. I'm going to inspect my gasket, close the lid, lock it, make sure my exhaust is off. I'm going to press low, and I'm going to put on 20 minutes on my timer. And then I'm going to just press start. So this carry canner will come up to pressure and start its timer, and it will can all on its own. I can just set it and I can now walk away. I can get another batch ready to go. That's it. So now I'm done. I just walk away. I can go out to the garden. I can do whatever I want. That is the joy of the carry canner. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And if it ever breaks, I will be getting a new one. The Ball Canning book does not recommend canning summer squash. I have to throw this plug in here for you. And that's okay. This is just what I have done for my family. Check your regulations. Check with older canners that are around you. And you know, it'll be different for your elevation. And so I can't say this is what you do. I can say this is what I do. So y'all check out your regulations. Do what you're comfortable with, and your family's safety is your responsibility. Thank you guys for watching, and have a blessed day.